I'm Jean-Paul Erhardt, so managing partner of PeopleSphere, and we are planning to talk to you about, well, flex reward as a whole, and more specifically about we will have a case story, a business case shared with AB InBev about flex reward and employee devices, and see how it fits today in a reward policy. So welcome. Maybe a few words to introduce the debate. And obviously, all of you know, and that's probably the reason why you join us this afternoon. We've been talking so much about new way of working, communication, learning and development, collaboration, and all these acceleration process that we've been living for the last 12 months. And it's quite obvious that the IT and the digital part of equipment has become really a significant issue within companies on a daily basis, but also is a very significant issue as far as reward and payroll is concerned. So the intent today, it's become more obvious, is to be able to give the opportunity to our people to work anywhere, anytime, and potentially with any kind of device. And lastly, one of the items that we will be talking about, well, during this session, but quite sure that we will be talking about that as well in the next few months, is about optimizing the employee, the human experience within our companies, and make sure that technology and digital equipment, digital devices are really positive items to be addressed when it comes to improve the employee experience on a daily basis. So, as promised, we also need a partner to deliver. So we have with us today Marc Nagelmackers from Econocom, who also took part to the project. So Marc, let's have a look at the way to implement things and to deliver this experience, this great experience to the people within AB InBev and hopefully within other companies.
At this stage, what I would like to do is to be a little bit more specific about the concept that we talk about, and especially about the concept that Christine talk about. She talked about two different things they have in place within ABI, which is what we call the employee choice, but also what we also call the plan cafetaria. There's two different concepts. To make the difference between the two concepts is pretty much easy. You have to look where the budget is coming from. And when you are talking about an employee choice, the budget basically, the basic budget is coming from the IT and the company, of course. And when you're talking about the plan cafetaria, the budget is coming from the flexible part of the employee paycheck, I would say. What we have with a lot of customers is one project, what we call the plan cafetaria. With others, we have simply an employee choice. What we have specifically here with ABI is a little bit different, is that we have both at the same time, and we have a connection in between the two concepts. To understand how it works, I mean, an employee choice, it's basically the IT who's saying, okay, the old time where you take a set of device, you give it to the employee, and you say to the employee, this is the device you will have to work 8 hours a day. If you are happy with that, that's fine. If you are not, that's also fine, because you don't have a choice. That's the end. That's the end of it. No, the employee coming on the market are not ready to work this way anymore. They want to be flexible. They want to work from wherever they want. They want to have flexible hours. They also want to have the flexibility to work with the device they feel comfortable with. But it doesn't mean that they will have the right to work with whatever device. I mean, first of all, the device catalog, like Peter said, is built by the IT and the business. It means here ABI, which has done a selection. They have done a selection because, I mean, there is some level of security you have to implement of this device. You have to support this device, and so there is a selection that IT and business of the company is doing. After that, and that is Christine and also Peter who talked about, you do a profiling. It doesn't make any sense to show all the catalog to everybody if you only have right to choose from a selection. And that's definitely a profiling that HR is doing based on what we call personas, but you can call another way. And at the end, that is the employee who's making his choice. Just give you an example. If you're talking about smartphones, a company has maybe like a standard smartphone, a Samsung 51, which is a smartphone with a value of 250 euros or something like that. But of course, you understand easily that some of the employee would like to have an iPhone in place. But the iPhone is costing 2 or 3 times the same amount. But IT does not have the budget for that. It's not like that. I mean, what does it mean within an employee choice with a connection with a plan cafetaria is that IT is putting on the table the basic budget for the Galaxy A51 with 250 euros, and the employee is selecting another device within the catalog we have built up here, and he's selecting by, for instance, an iPhone. The different price between the two could be 500 euro, and to finance this 500 euro, the employee is using its plan cafetaria budget. And that's a little bit what we have on the next slide. It is the different possibilities that employees will have. If you can go to the next one, please. Employees within the employee choice will have the possibility to select the standard device. If you are an employee, if you want to have the standard Samsung provided by the IT, free of choice. Of course, you can do that, and that's what we call the standard device. If the company is providing you with an alternate device, an alternate choice at the same price, okay, fine, it will be in the catalog. But if you want to what we call upscale this device and select a device, like I said, an iPhone just before, which is definitely more expensive than the standard Samsung, you may use for the price difference your budget coming from the plan cafetaria. It means that at the end, you will have to finance 250 euros from the plan cafetaria, and you will use the 250 euros from the employee, the IT budget. What is important, of course, is that as soon as you finance part of this device yourself, you need to be granted the personal usage of this device. You also want, at the end of the life cycle of the device, to be able to retain this device and buy back this device, of course. And Econocom is talking right now about IT because it's not our business, but in the near future, we're also going to add in the catalog some office furnitures in the catalog. I mean, it sounds quite logical today to have such a kind of thing. I mean, we are all working from home. We have a computer, that's fine. We have a headset. I don't, but that's another story. We most probably have a keyboard, an external display, or something like that. But I mean, as soon as you spend 8 hours a day at home, you need a good chair also. You need an office sometimes, and that's for your own safety, I would say, and own comfort, that you need a good chair, and that's something that's not always available with you at home as a standard. Why Econocom? In this stage, it is quite easy. I mean, we have a long experience of managing such a program, and the program that we are providing a customer with is flexible. You saw that for ABI, what we have built up with them is something extremely specific. We have an SSO in place, we have a specific catalog in place, we have a specific integration with EY. So we are pretty much flexible in terms of what we offer to our customer. The other thing is that we are a one-stop shopping. Is that mean we will manage everything which is around office furniture now and the IT. from A to Z. As soon as you're talking about IT devices which are used for corporate purpose, you of course need a partner who is able to manage, configure, and secure this device, because you're gonna use this device for professional use. And that's something what we call workplace management within Econocom. That's something we do manage. It's not like sourcing a device with MediaMarkt to Vandenborg. We're just going to give you the device. We are doing for more than that. We of course provide the device, but we deploy the device, we manage the device, we secure the device, and we maintain the device, and we even able to support the device for your end user. We are able to provide our customer with a lot of advice from the process, the workflow which is behind. And finally, if you want to have that per month, like a price per month, like another services, the standard within our offering. The next point is definitely it is on the next slide. It is the integration that we have with EY, but also other social secretariat. If you have just a plan cafetaria in place, basically and you have 1,000 people within the company, we're gonna have 200 orders or something per year. If you have an employee choice, that's definitely something different. We're talking about corporate device used by all your employees. It means that we will have 1,000 devices. And that's where the integration with EY and others is becoming important, because it means that each transaction that your employee will do on website is directly confirmed by your HR tool in order to have the budget blocked and confirmed between both tools. So the advice, if you want to start a plan cafetaria or an employee choice, we have in standard a catalog. This catalog has been built based on what we sell with other customers. It doesn't mean that we have 55,000 different products in this catalog. We have made a selection with about 320 different products, including laptop, desktop, smartphones, tablets, but also accessories. And we have a leasing proposal based on 36 months. Which allows you to start extremely fast, and we are able to start. We did it for a few customers, able to start the portal within 10 days. We have also some communication templates, and that's something that Christine and Peter pretty much emphasized at the beginning, is that communication to the employee is king. They need to understand where is the flexibility. That's easy. Okay, they can choose another device, but they need to understand where is the value added and where is the fiscal impact of their choice within this kind of new concept. They also need to know the limitation of that. Of course, it doesn't mean that because they have ordered a device through an employee choice that they can tomorrow sell this device to somebody else. There is a limitation, of course. Information about the users is definitely important. Like Christine said, listening to your employee and what they are looking for is pretty much important. The way to start with an employee choice is a little bit different than the way to start with a plan cafetaria. My advice, I would say, is to do exactly what AB InBev did within the company. They have started the employee choice based on the smartphones. It is easy for the employee to have one type of device where they can do a selection, and it avoids a lot of frustration. That's the first thing. But it's also easy for the IT of the company. I mean, if you try to touch to this laptop and desktop, it's going to be quite more difficult to start with this kind of item, because they are more strategic within the company. As soon as you're talking about smartphones, IT is going to say, okay, that's fine. As soon as, for instance, if you stick to Apple and Samsung, I do agree to have a certain choice in the program and to have an employee choice. And that's a definitely good way to start. So start with the smartphones. Don't try to start with everything at the same time. It's not an advice I would give. The next step is that exactly what Christine did, set up your personas. So for each type of employee, you have one persona, so you don't need to have 5 or 7. The next step is that you build a catalog, do it for you to make it simple. We advise you about a catalog, and you just confirm.
Same question raised to Marc as well. So Marc, as you have views on well, many platforms within many companies, have you seen any significant evolution in the demand of the employees?
Yes, of course. We have seen some changes that, and the first one was a question raised by Christine herself. I mean, she asked her if it was possible to enlarge the catalog and to have the office furniture. It's a discussion that we got together. Something we are busy to do right now. We have got from some important bank in Belgium, which would be the National Bank, for instance, demand for providing the employee with specific items to work from home, like keyboards, things like that, headsets and displays. So what we have seen is huge increase in quantities also. In the last 6 months, the quantities that we are providing to the employee home has increased greatly. I mean, more than 35%. So it's pretty much huge.
Well, I think in the end, both Christine as myself can confirm that the level of integration is actually an enhancement not only for the employees, but also for the employer. I mean, as Marc was pointing out, the sheer quantity of orders that are now being processed for things like telework, like additional smartphones, tablets, or keyboards and things like that. If you would imagine that in the traditional process that I illustrated before, that would be a simple nightmare, not only for employees, but also for employers to administrate all that. So what you see is when we implement this kind of integration, you see that users are more inclined to have a look, and if that's an easy flow, they're more inclined to take the next step, look at what is available, and then make their decision. If they need to start switching screens, noting things down, not only they will drop off throughout the process, that's something that we do see in the user data, but more importantly, they can also start making mistakes, because at the end of the day, they're only human, and yeah, mistyping something or forgetting an information field somewhere is easily done, and it means that you as an administrator, you need to follow that up, you need to contact the individual, what did you mean to do there, and so on and so on. So if you have a smooth flow designed between the two platforms, it helps both sides, both employee as well as employer.
The next issue is what place should companies give to employee device in terms of employer branding? I mean, we probably, I won't go too fast to the conclusion, but we probably can imagine from the current situation that mobility will not be the critical issue anymore when it comes to recruiting, and maybe so flexibility has already become one of the top 3 topics during the recruitment process. So maybe the next one for Marc. Marc, when it comes to employer branding and, well, the level of devices that the people can choose, I guess you may have an idea about the evolution of the kind of devices the people choose when they have such a platform. So what do you see as a major trend, maybe as the kind of the freedom you can give to the people, or do they use it to their own when it comes to choose their own devices?
Yeah, the first thing is that, I mean, the flexibility, the choice is a branding by itself. It means that now companies are giving that branding and this flexibility to the employee to recruit and to maintain the employee, to retain the employee. So it's a branding by itself. It's important. With ABI, we have started with the smartphones, and what we have seen is that there is a lot of people inside of ABI which are fan of Samsung device, which is more than with other companies. That's the first thing. But what we have seen is that we have, in general, more than 85% of the people who are doing an upscale of the standard device. It means a large majority. We have another customer called Belfius, for instance. They start with an iPhone XR, which is not that bad, I would say. I mean, it's just a nice device. 85% of the people are upscaling to a higher and more expensive device to have their device of their choice, which was a surprise also for us. We were pretty much convinced they would stick to the standard device and not pay a penny more for something else. But that's exactly the opposite. The next thing is that within ABI, we have started with the smartphones. And what we see is that now the people are saying that, yeah, good, it's fine. You give us the choice to select an iPhone, a smartphone, a different smartphone. But when are you going to provide us with the choice to select our own laptop, for instance? Why not? I mean, and I see that Christine is smiling because it's not yet in place, but it's definitely the next step. As soon as you have a catalog which is confirmed by the IT saying that, yeah, we can implement the security, we can support, and we can maintain, you can open this flexibility to something else than smartphone and go a little bit further and say, okay, if you feel more comfortable with this device, you may choose it if you want, by the way. And that's another step.
Jean-Paul, there is one question coming in through the questions section. Do you manage the devices for your new employees? They need them from day one.
That's definitely a good question. What we do as a standard service that we provide the newcomer, what we call the newcomer, with a standard device that we borrow him. It means that he can take it, use it for 1, 2, 3 months. And after that, as he has enough units to buy something else and make a sound decision if he wants to use something else, he has this possibility. Depending on the configuration that we have with the company, but that's definitely a way to solve this issue. You don't force necessarily your newcomers to make a decision before the day you come. But if you want to, what we do also is that we may open the choice for your newcomer before he's going to start his job.
This last one is quite interesting, and I will head on to Peter to say, okay, now we're talking a lot about the new normal, and when we're talking about the new normal, we're talking about safety, we're talking about health, we're talking about well-being, but we've not been talking about new balances or new organization in the reward policies within our companies. So the question is, should we anticipate new balances, new way of composing your compensation package? Yeah, Peter.
That's a very good question, Jean-Paul. And actually, my answer is no. You should not anticipate it because it's already there.
It's already there.
Think
okay.
with COVID, it has only accelerated. But what we have seen growing for already about 3-4 years is an absolute demand for more flexibility, for more diversity to a level that you cannot cope with standard policies that go with a one-size-fits-all policy. So depending on your population, but also depending on where people are in their career, in their personal life, they simply have different expectations from you as an employer. And as a modern employer, they expect you to cope with that. What Marc was referring to in terms of security, there's you can almost not avoid that you have a mix between private and professional activities on one device. Well, actually, that's only a symptom of how we work these days. People are mixing more and more private time with professional time, and they are also expecting employers to support people during that private time as well. So things like indeed well-being, health support is something that people are now expecting from modern employers.